Hi, this is Dr. David. I was asked to comment on the upcoming FDA hearing about the coronavirus vaccines that are being developed. I wanted to first start off by saying, did any of you know that there was a forum coming up? I had just found out about it this week, and I was able to submit my comments in a formal letter to the FDA, and the hearing is going to be later this week. I am hopeful that they will listen to what we have to say. I decided that I would speak out on behalf of our community because of the shared hesitancy that so many people are expressing about an upcoming vaccine that has never been used in this type of technology before, and the concerns about the safety testing and the efficacy testing that is being done so far and what will be done in terms of continuing follow-up and observations for once the vaccine is actually starting to be administered to people. And it turns out after I submitted this form, only 34 other people submitted this form nationwide. So whether this is not notification so that they don't have to deal with hearing from people, or if it's just a lack of concern about what other people are hearing, but it is concerning that there was little notification about this and only 34 people out of 330 million responded to it. So obviously they're not hearing the voices of the people. Now, I do want to thank the FDA, though, because they did a couple of weeks ago strengthen what they were going to be doing from a safety and observation perspective in terms of making sure that the proper number of people, or large numbers of people, are being looked at in the first place, and that certain minorities are being looked at, as well as going through this full confirmation process that has been put forth, recognizing that some people within the administration was trying to shorten that period and make it so that not as much safety testing was done. So I first wanted to talk about the importance of transparency and the lack of it so far. We had heard about the pause in the AstraZeneca trial, where there was this case of transverse myelitis. We know that they was stopped. We were given no further information about the details of this case, nor were we given any information about the resumption of that trial. And also, there was more recently a Johnson & Johnson trial that was paused, and there's been no information given about that, and that's been almost a week since that was announced. So the FDA is not doing a good job of providing transparency for people. And of course, the most important thing is we need to be able to be informed in order to consent. That's what informed consent is. Otherwise, we're just signing away liability to the person administered it. But informed consent, which is the hallmark of medicine, of modern medicine, means that you must be informed in order to make a proper decision in order for you to then consent to doing or not doing something. So hopefully we will get more information about that, but it is concerning about the lack of transparency that there's been so far. Now, furthermore, we need to have large-scale ongoing observations for adverse effects. We know that there are going to be some effects, some may be attributed to the vaccine, some are not. And of course, we have every right and need to know, well, how frequently are those effects? Are we talking about a 10% possibility of a negative reaction, a 0.01% chance of a reaction? And that's an important decision when we're weighing the risk versus benefit of any vaccine. So hopefully we will get more information about that. But in particular, we want to have information about people who have autoimmune conditions, hyperinflammatory conditions, mental health, neurobehavioral conditions, asthma, allergies. These are people who are more prone to having overreacting inflammatory systems, the hyperinflammation, autoimmunity, and so that may be a particular subset of people who could be reacting to a vaccine negatively, especially if you look at the package inserts for all of the vaccines that are out there. Hyperinflammatory and autoimmune conditions are commonly cited as some of the side effects that are seen, and potentially even in terms of for a reason not to get the vaccine. But we don't have any of that information, and I hope that would be forthcoming and ongoing and being updated. I also hope that there is going to be much looking at from diverse populations, from ethnic minorities, from people of color, for people with different, again, family histories of autoimmune diseases and hyperinflammatory conditions, because we know that our genes do play a big role in how our inflammatory system responds. Of course, knowing our vitamin D levels and our zinc levels and making sure those are optimized, that's really important too. But of course, it's good to know if there are genetic susceptibilities. For instance, we're hearing now about the possibility that type O blood may be protective against the actual virus. Wouldn't it be great to know if there were certain genetic issues that could be related to more likely have a negative reaction to the vaccine, or for that matter, even if the vaccine may be better likely to work for a person if they have a certain genetic finding. So that would be great information for us to know about. And of course, we really need to have transparent information and reporting on the protective rates. So you may have heard me talk about titers. These are the IgG antibodies that are created for any disease that serve as memory so that we have protection going forward. And so we need to know what the actual rate of protection is. How frequently are these titers positive? We are hearing that the FDA is going to allow and call a success if there's 50% protection coming from the vaccines. Now that's a coin flip, and I don't know about you, but to take a vaccine that may or may not work 50-50 does not give me a lot of confidence of knowing that if I did choose to take the vaccine, that I would be protected from doing that intervention in the first place. Now, of course, in our practice, we do take a proactive stance for people who have had vaccines and check these titers for all the different types of diseases so people can know whether they are protected or not. And that's certainly something that I will offer to any of my patients who choose to take a coronavirus vaccine. But I doubt that's going to happen nationwide. And is that going to allow people to think mistakenly that they're protected just because they got the vaccine and then go off and then perhaps that they get sick or pass along to somebody else, but they thought that they were immune? And again, we need that information as a society to know what we really can expect, because if it turns out that it's 95% protective, that's really good. But 50%, that just leaves way too much open for possibilities of negative outcomes in terms of people catching the disease even though they thought they were protected. So I hope that you will continue to follow us and to check out our links for our YouTube channel to please subscribe to us. And also below in the comments, you can see our social media links and also our website. Thank you and have a nice day.